It is unfortunate but true that the library has been associated in some people's minds with death. The library has been seen as a place that preserves the works of writers who died long ago, a place where motionless volumes rest like gravestones on silent shelves. In traditional libraries, when people talk at all, they speak in hushed voices, as if in a cemetery or at a funeral. In recent years, people concerned about the environment have even referred to printed books as dead trees, because of the trees that must be cut down to produce paper for those books. That image would make the library a dead forest. But although a printed book might seem lifeless and unchanging, books do not have to be dead. After all, in its essence, a book is any fixed collection of words that have been selected and arranged by the author and put into a form in which they can be remembered. And that form does not need to be on paper. Long before the birth of writing, and for a long time thereafter, words were preserved not as static text, but in living, dynamic forms. The minstrels of medieval Europe, who travelled from town to town, telling stories and reporting news in their songs. The storytellers of many cultures who passed on folk tales from generation to generation. Even the dancers of India and elsewhere, who made words out of gestures and told stories through the movements of their bodies. In a sense, their performances were books as well. The words of those books, though, were stored not on the surface of paper, but in the brains of the people who remembered them. Their brains were their libraries, libraries made of flesh and blood, libraries whose books changed and developed over time. Of course, the old-style library of printed books has never been as lifeless as some people imagine. After all, great printed books continue to be loved because of the way their words seem to come alive on the page. But it is true that now, in the 21st century, the library is acquiring a new kind of life. For today's library exists not only in a building made of brick or concrete, but also in the huge global network called the Internet. That network, which consists of millions of computers located in every corner of the earth, contains a vast number of words in every form, from personal messages to government reports, as well as traditional books. This library's collection is constantly changing, as more words are added and as meaningful links are created among them by both people and machines. Just as the tales of ancient storytellers changed over time, so too is the content of today's vast worldwide library gradually evolving. Like the human brain that stored those tales, this new library, this library called the Internet, is alive.